A jam-packed Hull City Hall waits in eager anticipation of a match that may arguably be the single most competitive contest we've ever seen for the NGW Unified Undisputed Title. And one half of that contest is the man who's about to make his way to the ring. That man is Liverpool's number one. That man is Zack Gibson. And there he is. Regular viewers of this show will know only too well the history between Zack Gibson and his opponent tonight, the show stealer Nathan Cruz. This is the first time we have seen Gibson on this programme since his very historic win in the Davy Boy Smith Memorial Cup round robin tournament. Remember, he beat Bubblegum in the finals of that tournament in his hometown of Liverpool at the historic Liverpool Olympia. He's since been on a tour of China, and as a result of winning that contest, he has been declared the number one contender to the new NGW heavyweight champion, the show stealer Nathan Cruz, a man who we have seen go through hell and high water to win that belt. And irony has taken its toll in this showdown because these two men have wrestled twice before, and twice they have gone to no conclusion. Remember, there was a double pin and then a time limit draw. Will the third and final contest provide a clear and decisive winner? Well, the stakes could not be higher, as it's back to Stevie Aaron. And you better get ready for this ovation, because about to make his way to the ring is a man who is from the very city that we're about to see him compete in. He is from Hull. He is a local hero in Hull, and it was this crowd in this building that watched his rise to the NGW Heavyweight Championship with that epic win against the Control's Rampage Brown. And you better be prepared for the roof to come off of this place as we await the arrival of the show stealer, Nathan Cruz. I can hardly hear myself as that man, sporting the gold and the gold, both in colour and in championship belts, stands in the entranceway and raises his arms with that show stealer pose that he has made so famous across the UK scene. But will tonight be the night that Nathan Cruz faces an obstacle that is unbeatable? We fought it potentially with Mark Haskins. We even fought it with Rampage Brown. Many believe there was no way he could dethrone Brown for the NGW title, but he did. Now Nathan Cruz has all the eyes of the UK wrestling scene firmly upon him, because by holding the most important televised heavyweight title in Europe today, it's made him a marked man, and one man who wants to be ahead of the queue in facing Cruz is Liverpool's number one, Zack Gibson, who fixes his eyes on the show stealer. Man, this is going to be an epic, epic contest. And to add to it, let's hand you back over to Stevie Aaron for our in-ring introductions. A real big fight feel in the air. And Cruz and Gibson have not taken their eyes off of each other. Over to you, Stevie. Well, you can see Gibson here, not a favourite in the city of Hull. The polar opposite to the last time we saw him in the Liverpool Olympia.
His opponent is the champion. From East Riding of Yorkshire, weighing tonight at 215 pounds, he is the current reigning and defending New Generation Wrestling Undisputed Champion, the show stealer, Nathan Cruz.
And listen to this crowd There is no question whose side they are on, but if there's one thing we've learned about Zack Gibson, it's that he does not need friends and he does not need crowd support to get the job done. This rivalry between Cruz and Nathan is about so much. It's about who is the best wrestler in NGW? Who is the best wrestler in the UK today? What means more, the NGW Undisputed Title or the Davey Boy Smith Cup? But really it comes down to both of these men just not liking each other. You can throw every single addition to their rivalry in there that you want. But really what it comes down to is that these two men rub each other up the wrong way. They respect each other's ability, but they incredibly, extremely dislike each other's personality. And you see that there with a big tight collar and elbow tie up there. Zack Gibson goes straight for that arm, which he said he would isolate, and he's going for it early. Cruz rolls out. Remember, Gibson a proponent of the Shankly Gates, that submission, which focuses on the arm. And Gibson said in the pre-match interview, make no mistake, he's holding nothing back. He will go straight for that arm of Nathan Cruz. Nathan Cruz there, tight side headlock. And the officials, some of the people involved in the decision-making process in the WWE of who is the next UK star to get signed to that big American company, look at both Gibson and Cruz as two of the top men in Europe today. That's just to give you an example of the high praise that these two wrestlers receive from their industry peers. But right now, WWE is not what it's about. What it's about is proving to each other who is the best. And the proof of that will be which man leaves with the most important televised singles title in the country today. Cruz there, walks straight into that headbutt into the midsection, and a big high knee from the show stealer Nathan Cruz. Textbook by the show stealer, and a European uppercut down deep on Gibson. Hits another one. And Gibson here, sent off the ropes, reverses, comes back, and look at that. Whoa, whoa. But Nathan Cruz holds on, double leg Nelson, but Gibson there goes for the arm. These two just back and forth here. Oh, off into the ropes again. Comes back, hip toss attempt. Cruz reverses it into a monkey flip. And Gibson there looked like he was just a little bit off step in that opening sequence. As Cruz comes back, goes for a second monkey flip. Will it be a mistake? And it is, because look at Cruz. Position, whoa! And Gibson there. Oh! And goes, man, these two, and look at this. Look at these two. They made eye contact, and straight away, despite all the great wrestling in the early goings, you saw how quickly this one became personal. There's so much at stake here. Let's not forget that the Control's Richie West has offered Zack Gibson a place in the Control if he can walk out of here with the NGW Undisputed Championship. That is just how much Richie West and the Control want that belt back within their faction. Zack Gibson yet to respond to that offer, but we're back in the ring now as Cruz comes back and walks straight into a huge back elbow by Gibson. Could have almost knocked a tooth out there of the show stealer. And Gibson again going straight for that arm. There will be no wasted movement. There will be no mistakes with these two men, because they really are in the upper echelon of British professional wrestling. When the history books are written of the last 10 years or 20 years of British wrestling, I truly believe that these two men will go down as two of the very best of their generation. If that statement is not true already, which I believe it to be. But nothing says it more clearly, nothing echoes it more loudly than going one-on-one for a third time to find out who is the clear and decisive victor. Oh, look at that, Gibson there, ground position lariat, went for it earlier. And did you see the forearm across the face on that pin attempt, European style, and again, Gibson goes straight back for that arm. Gibson is an in-ring wrestling machine, and he knows that for that Shankly Gates to be truly effective as a submission, to gain him a win, he must first wear down the arm. And look at that, full bodyweight knee on the side of the head. And Cruz there, yeah, protecting that arm as best he could, but he couldn't protect from that stamp by Liverpool's self-proclaimed #1. We're going to have to take a very short commercial break, but don't go anywhere. there because this match continues. Back here on British Wrestling Weekly, and Gibson continues the relentless offense on that arm, but now it looks like it's going to go to another level as he attempts a belly-to-back suplex from the heavens on Cruz. Man, if he can get this, Cruz is in a world of trouble, and Cruz fights to stay out of this move. Gibson still holding on, but that headbutt there by Cruz takes Gibson down. Man, Cruz was lucky to escape that, because if Gibson had hit that, that could have spelled disaster for the champion. But what's Cruz going for on the top rope? No, wait, whoa! Huge moonsault by the champion, but it did not pay off. I have never seen the show stealer go for that move before. Maybe it was a mistake, but he ducks a clothesline and comes back with a release. German suplex, but look at the toll that attempted moonsault is taken on the show stealer Nathan Cruz. Both men throwing everything they have at this one. The stakes are so high for the NGW Undisputed Unified Heavyweight Title. Gibson back up onto his feet first. But, whoa, look at Cruz. Cruz there. Manages to nip up. Gibson runs through. Cruz moves out of the way. Back and forth. God, these guys are giving their all for this belt. Leapfrog over the top of Gibson. What's happening here? Cruz catches Gibson and sends him chest first into the centre of the ring and a big forearm. And Cruz showing his resilience and showing just how much he's willing to fight. Oh, and he goes for that slingshot belly to back. We've seen him hit this before. Whoa. Man, what happened there? Gibson rolls straight through. I've never seen a reversal like that, but Cruz goes for the show stolen. If he hits this, it will be, well, oh, and Gibson there holds onto the arm. It wasn't pretty, but it was effective, because not only did he escape that finishing move of Nathan Cruz, but he's gone for the arm that he told the world he would isolate. And it's the arm he needs for the Shankly Gators. Cruz fights back. Man, this is so back and forth. Oh. And Cruz dumps Gibson hard on that middle strand of rope, follows it up with a drop kick. And Gibson looking lifeless. Could this be all? I severely doubt it. No, just a 2 count. And I doubt it, and I'll tell you why I doubt it, because if there's one thing we've learned about both Cruz and Gibson, it's that their egos are so huge that neither man will be prepared to tap or prepared to be pinned in this contest. That's why both times it's gone to a draw. And it makes me think, what will it take for one man to lose? It's a scary thought, but Cruz thinks he knows. And it looks like he's going to go for that big kick as Gibson moves out the way in a roll-up. Ref in position, whoa. Maybe a mistake like that could create a pin attempt. But, oh, slingshot belly to back in the centre of the ring. Did you see Gibson's head bounce off the floor like a ball? 2 and whoa. That was, I tell you, that was close. Despite everything I just said, that was the closest near fall of this contest. Because when a man's skull hits the canvas that hard, don't forget that underneath that canvas is nothing but wood and metal. And if your head hits it at that force, man, you're in trouble. It's one of the reasons that is a finishing move for Nathan Cruz, but of course his main finishing move is that show stolen. Oh, and it looks like he's going for it now. Man, I must be psychic, because he went for it, but Gibson here saw it too, felt it, and fall out of it and go straight back for that arm. Gibson is a machine when it comes to that arm. He knows he needs that Shankly Gates, which is why Cruz is fighting out, and Gibson is fighting for ownership and control of that arm. He said to everybody he was going to go for it, and that's why Cruz needs to do anything he can to avoid that move, and he runs straight into that midsection back kick there. Oh no. Oh, fisherman brainbuster, centre of the ring again. Cruz hits hard. 2 count, 3, no. Man, we are seeing some very close near falls in this contest. Referee Adam Johnson telling Zack Gibson it's just a 2. And Adam Johnson's story with Nathan Cruz, these guys were very close friends. In fact, You know, you've got to remember that he was involved in the epic closing moments of Cruz's victory against Rampage Brown. But now Gibson going for that arm yet again, really going for it. Cruz fighting as best he can, but Gibson barring it now. And look at those shots from Cruz becoming weaker and weaker as the match goes on. Clever there, body scissors. But Nathan Cruz again trying to escape. He will do everything in his power to avoid that. And look at this, a Bret Hart sharpshooter. Remember, Georgia Smith Hart founded the Davey Boy Smith Cup. Is it a coincidence that Nathan Cruz is using the move made famous by Bret the Hitman Hart on the man who beat him to win that tournament? Maybe it is just a coincidence, but it wasn't enough because Gibson made it to the ropes. And it's so hard to call this contest as a commentator because as a British wrestling fan of over 2 decades, I am gripped by the outcome of this one. It could go either way. I feel it, these two men feel it, and this capacity crowd at the whole City Hall feel it. Listen to them as both men fight to their feet. What an NGW title showdown we're seeing here on British Wrestling Weekly. Oh! From nowhere! Show stolen, no way! No way, no way, no way! And he hits it! Oh my God! Ref in position! 2 and Cruz, whoa! No! Wow! Zack Gibson has kicked out of the show stolen in the centre of the ring. Adam Johnson saying it was literally centimetres away from a 3, but it was still not a 3. And what's that got to do for the confidence of the champion, knowing that his biggest move was not enough to put away the challenger who has vowed to win whatever it takes. He will not let himself be beat by Nathan Cruz. And this crowd watches on as these two men fight tooth and nail for ownership of the NGW Undisputed Title. Oh no! Gibson there, using the ropes, using the leverage and momentum to hurt that arm of Cruz in a bad way. And he goes straight for it. He smells blood like a shark, but it's not blood. It's the arm of Nathan Cruz. Oh, and he hits it again. And what's it? Oh, lung blower! Oh, and he targeted it on that arm. My God! Cruz could be out. Cruz could be out. Oh! Just a 2. Just the 2. But the damage to Cruz's arm in the last 30 seconds has been something. Oh no! Oh, he's going for the shank. Oh, he's got the Shankly Gates in the middle of the ring. My word! The champion is trapped in the Shankly Gates in the centre of the ring. There is nowhere for Nathan Cruz to go. Will he tap against the man who is sworn to win out, win that title? This crowd does not want to see it. They're behind the show stealer, but look how far he is from those ropes. Gibson rolls through. What's he going for here? Oh! Oh no! He brings it back. Did you see that? Give credit where credit is due, because it looked for a moment there like Cruz would make it to the ropes, and Gibson put pay to that by taking the champion straight back, even further from the ropes than he was before. If Cruz can't get out of this, he will have to tap out or pass out. Either way, he will lose the NGW title he's worked so hard for. It looks like he's coming out. What's he going for here? He manages to get out, and Gibson, huge shot to the back of the neck. How did the show stealer not tap from that? Oh! But on the shoulders, show stolen, but Gibson's holding on. Oh, Cruz sends Gibson to the outside, back and forth. God, this is hard to call. And Cruz there kicked Gibson off. Went to send him into the guardrails, but Gibson held on. Gibson trying to get his breath back here. And Cruz going after the challenger, comes on the out. Oh, and headed to the post. No, oh no. Oh, and Gibson there hit his own head into the guardrail. Man, that happened out of nowhere. This one broke down, got messy, and the consequences being that both men's head have hit steel. There is no way that anyone wants to see. Look, oh, that Cruz looks out. There is no way that anyone wants to see a double count out. We're at 6. No way, we've got to take a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, because the epic drama continues here on British Wrestling Weekly. No way, what? Don't go anywhere. Oh, no way. No, this cannot be a double count out, not again. There was nothing the referee Adam Johnson really could do, but these men have... Nathan Cruz grabbing the mic now. Well, it's a question I've asked myself. Who is better? I thought we were going to find out. Well, Cruz calling for Gibson to come back. Remember, the last two times that Cruz has challenged Gibson to get back in the ring and continue their match after both their double pin and their time limit draw, Gibson has refused, said that he wasn't being paid overtime, and I cannot believe that this is what it's come down to. Is Gibson going to walk away one more time? Cruz is saying it's for the belt, and he's damn right, because say what you want about the other occasions, this time is for the most important televised heavyweight title in the United Kingdom today. Oh, Gibson stops in his tracks there, and is he going to do it? Oh, and Gibson comes back. We're going to see it. Clear and decisive. Cruz and Gibson continues here on British Wrestling Weekly. And look at it. These two men back and forth, and we are back on. The match has been restarted at the request of the champion. And oh no, look at that. Gibson straight on the arm. And goes for it once more. It's been the focus of Gibson throughout this match. And Cruz there will roll up, but Gibson reverses too, and interesting there that Gibson didn't hold the tights on that. In a strange way, I don't think... Whoa, look at that, jawbreaker by the champion. I don't think Gibson would want to win by cheating, as I know Cruz would not want to win by a count out. And look at that, kick to the face, one of his finishing moves. Oh! And Richie West, what's he doing here? Yes! Yes! Listen to this crowd. Adam Johnson has had enough of Richie West and the Control, who have no business being in this contest. And Adam Johnson has just... Oh, no. Turn around, Nathan. Turn around. Oh, and Cash Crash with a chair has hit Gibson. Charges at the champion, who fights back. And there's Sam Wilder. What's going on? Oh, my. Sam Wilder with a low blow kick to the show stealer. Oh, there's Matt Myers. Myers in. Wilder hasn't seen him. Look at that. Huge stunner. And listen to this crowd on their feet. God, that happened out of absolutely nowhere. Cruz hit that huge, potentially match-winning kick, only for Richie West to appear. He's still holding his jaw. Good. My God, I wanted to see that happen for some time, and credit to Adam Johnson. This man has not snapped for over a year, and it got too much. But the story is that both Cruz and Gibson, both the champion and the challenger, are down on the floor. One with a low blow and one with an inverted chair shot. And look at the drama, feel the epic intensity of this one, and a count is on. The match continues as Adam Johnson hits a 2, and we may see a double knockout at a 3, my God. What a twist, but Gibson here, Gibson moving, he looks out on his feet, 2 and a 3, oh! The show stealer kicks out of nowhere. And Gibson, look how groggy and dazed he looks. He took a steel chair between the eyes. But talk about eyes, look at the eyes of the champion. Face to face, Gibson almost out on his feet, slapping back. These men are not going to let this match finish in any other way but a clear and decisive conclusion. Warriors, gladiators, champion and challenger fighting left and right, tooth and nail, back and forth. And Gibson holding on to that arm, and he got it. He's fought for that arm the whole contest, goes to hit the corner, comes back and and the challenger slips. His first mistake of this contest. Up onto the shoulders of the champion, show stolen, centre of the ring. Can he kick out? Will the challenger kick out? And Nathan Cruz retains. Nathan Cruz beats Zack Gibson. My God, what a contest. A competitive British wrestling battle for the ages, but we did not know the direction and the drama that one would take, particularly in the closing moments. Nathan Cruz gets a win over Gibson. It is definitive, but is it a win that either man will be happy with? Because Richie West and the Control made their presence felt in an attempt to dethrone Cruz for the belt. But it may just have cost Zack Gibson and made a huge enemy out of Liverpool's number 1 in the process. My God, what a main event.